She went after the account Libs of TikTok in the Washington Post this morning. She legit went to the account proprietor's home or the family members' homes. If you're watching the simulcast of our nationally syndicated radio show, heard coast to coast on hundreds of markets with 10 million plus listeners a day, and you're watching the simulcast of this on the first, that's Taylor Lorenz outside of one of the homes of one of Libs of TikTok's family members with her mask on outside. Jeez. I'm not gonna, well, because it's her, so you get a pass. You can actually make fun of her. So she went, targeted the family, was targeting their family members. The Washington Post, they linked to Libs of TikTok's name, real estate license, and address, a backdoor way of publishing it themselves while actually lacking the courage to actually publish it themselves. And it shows, by the way, that they did that. It shows an awareness that they knew that what they were doing was garbage. Now, as I was writing this morning for my Substack newsletter, this piece went out this morning, that the Washington Post removed it without acknowledgement. They removed that link without acknowledgement or apology. But they only did it after the wave of backlash for linking to it in the first place. But the damage is already done, right? The damage is already done. So it's very ironic because Taylor Lorenz just literally last month did an interview where she bawled on camera because she's so traumatized because people criticize her work. Like, oh my gosh, listen to this.
You feel like any little piece of information that gets out on you will be used by the worst people on the internet to destroy your life. And it's so isolating.
And terrifying.
It's horrifying. I'm so sorry.
It's overwhelming.
Libs of TikTok, I'm going to come to your family's homes. And now people are criticizing her. And she's like, but this is journalism! I'm unmoved, Kane. Yet I am unmoved. That's horrible acting. Like putting the hands up. It's just horrible acting. I just can't. I grew up in a family with some ridiculously dramatic people. I know bad actors when I see it as bad actor. It's bad. Maybe then don't do it to other people. See, Lorenz and the editorial staff at WAPO apparently found Libs of TikTok. Libs of TikTok just posted the videos. They apparently found that so objectionable that they decided to target that account. They're mad. They're actually blaming large right-leaning social media accounts for noticing and amplifying the videos that Lorenz's ideology, the people on her side that they post. The left really tries hard to hide their crazy. And what this is somebody uncovered the crazy and now they're like, oh my gosh. And also note how situational the left is of investigative reporting. What would Taylor Lorenz have done if James O'Keefe and Project Veritas found her important enough to show up on her porch? Oh my gosh, they find the littlest bit of information. It's horrifying. She's not a journalist. Journalists don't exploit, like I said, distraught teenagers like Claudia Conway for clout. Grown women in their late 30s don't call 15-year-olds their mutuals and ignore the child's dad when he repeatedly tells reporters like Lorenz to stop trying to contact and exploit his daughter. Journalists don't target Twitter accounts that simply curate videos that already exist on the internet. I read her piece. It's behind a paywall. I have a mind to just copy and paste the whole damn thing and put it up on Substack so they don't get any traffic for it. But it's really not even great writing. She just relied on this other dude doxed Libs of TikTok, and she just took that work and appropriated it as her own. I mean, imagine that's your job. You're sitting on your ass, like ripping stuff off Twitter, and that's, I'm a journalist. Like Ralph on The Simpsons. I'm helping. The account doesn't break news. It doesn't craft policy. It just features videos that leftists willingly post of themselves. It's not a wire service. She actually said it was a wire service in her piece. I laughed. I literally LOL'd. That was the time when I wasn't lying. I LOL'd. But, apparently, I guess it's not easy to instruct your fellow lefties to not make complete butts of themselves online. So she chose to try to toxify Libs of TikTok. The problem is that this chick is a perennial victim of her own actions. She legit is. She can use her platform in one of the largest and most influential newspapers in the country to smear people she opposes. But if the average citizen pushes back, then she's somehow traumatized. I see this from the big press all the time. They will use their power as press to go after and target people, like the elderly woman in Florida that they doxed. Or like, do you remember the dude who made the Trump gif of him, of Trump slamming the CNN logo? And they doxed him for this. They doxed this guy, try to ruin his life. No, they can come after you, but oh my gosh, if citizens push back, don't be gaslit into thinking that your absolute justifiable criticism of reporting that is published in a newspaper owned by an oligarch is unwarranted. It's your duty as a citizen to hold both your government and your press to account, since lately they're really one and the same. Does this mean they love Project Veritas now, since they love investigative journalism? Is it really investigative journalism when you just take somebody else's work on Twitter and you write a story about it? No. I'm a journalism. No, this isn't. This is what the press does. They try to ruin people's lives because they don't like your politics. And then they act shocked and they sit here and scream about freedom of the press if anybody dares push back. The people who have undermined the sanctity of the free press the most is the press itself. I wrote this morning, I said, if the entirety of the press isn't united in condemning Lorenz and what she did, they deserve to share in the condemnation. Frankenstein must account for the actions of his monster.